parking. An English seaside resort in winter is rather like a ghost town. This is Hastings in December. The chip shops are closed, and the saucy postcards have been put away till the holiday makers come rushing back next summer. Behind innumerable net curtains, landladies are busy with the cream paint. And out of doors, those hardy folk are who will take their walk along the pond at all costs. If I was one of those, I'd be pausing now halfway through my constitutional. I'd have had my soft-boiled egg, read the births, marriages and deaths, and generally disapproved of the news. I'd have checked the likelihood of rain accurately and read the corporation weather report. The afternoon will be whiled away with a nap and a visit to the library. And every few weeks, there's a play on at the local theatre to look forward to. There's nothing I like better than a good murder play, especially if it's by Agatha Christie, and is blessed with one of those inscrutable Jeeves-like butlers.
Yes?
Up to that time, Dr. Christie had not returned.
I've just heard the news. Oh, it's awful, just awful. Are you...
Inspector Cahoon of Scotland Yard.
Then John was murdered?
Oh, yes, Miss Gray, he was murdered.
This is Hastings Theatre Guild's Christmas offering. Their last production was King Lear with a mammoth cast. The Stables Theatre goes from strength to strength, yet no one gets paid. I came here in search of that peculiarly English passion for amateur dramatics. It's always intrigued me to discover more about the army of people who sweat their guts out on the stage for the sheer love of it. So I came to watch their play evolve. And this is the audition.
One of the principal provinces in India. He would have been the next viceroy, most probably, if it hadn't been for that terrible Labour government doing away with the empire.
He's the right build for the part.
He's the right build, yes, but I've got him really in mind for another part. A lot of people, you're not sure which type of character they can adopt in a play, or in fact who is reading for a part. And so they usually put in for quite a number in the hope of getting one of them.
They say, I wish to play that part.
Yes, I may have in mind one person for a particular part, but if they put down for something that I've not considered before, I've got to read them through it, yes.
But they rarely say, I wish to play Lord.
Oh, yes, yes, yes.
The director was the first person I wanted to know about. What, I wondered, did Dudley Smart do for a living?
Pat, the new rustic range, if you're going to have to shove a plug in there, you're not going to have enough give in the post to get it through.
He's a manager in a plastics company where they make rustic fencing. Rather bad news for woodworms.
Now, take it from there now.
Well, come to the part about justice being done.
It's what I've seen with my own eyes.
And very nice eyes they are, too.
Oh, go on.
No, Deirdre. Look, can I show you what I want here?
The next stage is the early rehearsal. This one is in the theatre bar.
You take it back from Tim. We'll come to the part about justice being done.
Come to the part about justice being done.
It's what I seen with my own eyes.
And very nice eyes they are, too.
Go on. And turn away from me, simper a bit there. And then pause.
Well, Saturday afternoon it was, the very day of the murder. I went to shut the bedroom doors. You see, you're all conspiratorial with him here. You don't want those people out there or in there to hear. I went to shut the bedroom windows because it looked like rain. And I happened to glance over the banisters. And what did I see?
I don't feel very well.
Now they're on stage for the first time. Of course, no whodunit is complete without a corpse. And changing Reg de Havilland into one turns out to be fraught with problems, both physical and temperamental.
When you get the shot, take it here.
I'll take it from there so that...
And come down, trying to make for that door there, and not such a dramatic bit of ballet work here with your legs all up in the air, like a dying horse. Go down, and I should roll over rather than try and force your way onto your back.
Okay, I'll try.
awful thing to do.
It's the first time he's taken this through with the steps up there. It threw him completely, and he just couldn't cover the distance in the time. You could fall down the steps. No.
What are you doing?
He's got to
Put that thing down. Why, you... Oh!
He's supposed to be shot with a 38. Well, if he really was shot
He'd
with
have
a
been
38,
blown
he'd been
through the wall.
and...
I can't do it.
No, go on.
Go on. Do it the way you did it the first time, Rich, but don't do this ballet act on the floor with your legs up in the air.
You're giving him a complex.
What are you doing? Put that thing down. Why, you... Oh!
Reg, by the way, was a professional actor, but turned salesman when he got married. This time, Reg has got it right, and the rehearsal moves forward.
You've got the wrong vase.
What did you say?
You've got
Joy Tunnicliffe, playing Midge, is a convent school teacher.
You'll have to do something about these flowers. When you come in with them, can you have them prepared, put them down there, so that they're reasonably accessible to take up one by one. Then you won't get in a mess, you won't drop them over there, and you'll have the timing right for when you do really put them into the second vase.
In Hastings, they had around 14 amateur dramatic societies up to 1956. Together, these rescued an old Georgian stable from demolition by the local council, renovated it and converted it into a charming and highly efficient theatre. The 14 societies became one guild, with a pool of over 100 actors and actresses.
Landlord?
Right, what have we got in the way of wine room?
Newy, George?
The local boozer, an indispensable part of every theatre, was where I learned that amateur dramatics is a whole way of life. Dick Perkins, the guild chairman, met Sybil, his wife, in an operatic group.
No, a lobster.
A lobster.
And Dudley met his wife, Jessie, in a production of this same play 15 years ago, while he was helping out backstage.
Right, John, start with 15.
Okay. When you're ready, sir, 15.
French window on the OP side of it.
George Leach works for the Department of the Environment.
Just leave it at that.
John Pryor is a work-study expert.
Right.
Kill 19 and 20. Right, now, can you give me 13? And 19... Right, now it's too much. Take it down to 7.
Precious little happening in the town again. I suppose nothing's really happened here since William the Conqueror dropped into battle. Things are really hotting up now, aren't they? We're all getting ready for the big day.
That's getting close, isn't it?
There's 3 weeks' hard work behind them now, and it's coming up to the dress rehearsal.
Yeah. Put it there. Don't put it up.
Okay, Dad, what's that?
Yep, right, 7:50.
Going well.
What misery it is to be a sculptor.
I suppose it must be. I always thought you had to have models for this sort of thing.
It's an abstract piece I'm modelling, darling.
Oh, my God, not like that.
Anything interesting in the Times?
Oh, there's a lot of people dead. You've got clay on your nose.
What?
Clay on your nose. Yes, that's right. Now it's all over your face, dear.
Does it matter, darling?
Evidently not.
Oh, dear, if it isn't one thing, it's another. Did I leave a mole trap in here? Ah, there it is. You know, the worst of moles is, you never know where they're going to pop up next. I don't know, people are quite right when they say that nature in the mild is seldom raw. Don't you agree, Henry?
Rosemary Fotheringham Parker who plays Lucy Leggy Angertel, is a farmer's wife who goes hunting 3 times a week. Incidentally, she supplied her own mole trap.
Would you believe it? They've been at it again. They've pushed up a whole row of lovely little lobelias. Midge, darling, I didn't see you, my dear. That would help, wouldn't it? What were you two doing before I came in?
You're going to lose it from this horse. Thank you very much, Frank. So kind of you.
I'd love one, darling, thank you. Whiskey Mac, please. Warm my toes. Hope the courage lasts until tonight. Share it to me, dear, please.
Oh, that's right. Thank you very much. Let me give you some money.
Oh.
Mr. Edward.
Edward! How nice of you to come.
Lucy, how nice of you to let me come. Why, it's little Midge, you look very grown up. I always remember you as you used to be in the holidays when Uncle Hugh was alive.
Andrew Kempson, playing Edward, works for the Ministry of Defence.
Beautiful just now.
Is it, darling?
Excuse me, my lady. It's about the savoury for dinner.
Chicken livers. Oh, butchers have no conscience about chicken livers. Don't tell me they haven't come.
They have arrived, my lady, but Mrs. Medway is a little dubious.
Oh.
Her ladyship's back, isn't she, Mr. Gudgeon?
Certainly not. Her ladyship has a very keen intellect.
This is Deirdre's first part.
Been all over the world with Sir Henry.
Good evening, Gudgeon.
Good evening, Gudgeon.
Very warm still.
Very warm still.
Deirdre's mother, Vivian Hart Kendall, plays the neurotic Gerda Christo.
That's when John walks up to
You don't mean that.
Oh, John, you don't mean that.
If you hated sick people, you wouldn't be a doctor, would you, dear?
A man doesn't become a doctor because he has a partiality for sick people. It's the disease that's interesting, not the patient. You have odd ideas, Gerda.
But you do like curing people.
I don't cure them. I hand out faith, hope, and probably a laxative. It's the disease, it's the,
You're tired, John.
Yes, I'm tired, very tired.
You work too hard. It's just this wretched lobster.
Oh,
they can't, because she has to come on.
Quite a treasure trove you've got down here, girls. What's all this about the lobster?
Oh, it's been quite a problem, this lobster. It's got to do with something about the colouring of the cushions that she wants to make on the settee.
Yeah,
And
if it's on a plate, we could mock it up somehow.
Yeah.
It's got to be held up.
It's ridiculous to think that we tried to get one from London to hire out, and all they sent us was this darn crab.
Oh, what a shame.
I think before Wednesday we should have got a lobster of some type.
Yes.
We've got to.
Henry, darling, do you know that this child gets...
Oh, forgive me for bursting in upon you this way.
Anne Vaness learns her lines with the help of her son, Grant. She plays the film star Veronica, about to spring a surprise visit on the house party.
Do you mean to say
I'll have a share.
Henry, darling, do you realise this child gets her dresses for nothing because she's working at the shop?
What? Well, how absurdly ridiculous.
Suddenly, a crisis on stage. No Veronica. And they've run out of dialogue.
I'll have another sherry.
Is this sherry or is it not?
That is something out of there in a brown
But is
bottle.
it drinkable?
Yes, quite drinkable.
Yes.
I can't give you a sherry, old man. I haven't
Have
got
you
enough
run out
sherry
again?
glasses. I haven't got enough sherry glasses. That's why I said I'll get you a whiskey and soda.
I see.
Well, I wouldn't mind having a
You there, Veronica?
something.
Hey there, darling.
Yes.
You missed it, sweetie.
Forgive me for bursting in upon you this way.
Yes, you can.
The most awful thing has happened. Not a single match in the house and my lighter won't work. Oh, so what could I do? I just begged help from my only neighbour within miles.
Why, of course, how very awkward for you.
Why, John. Why, it's John Christo. Well, now, isn't this amazing? Oh, forgive me for bursting in upon you this way. I'm your neighbour, Lady Angertel, from that ridiculous cottage Dovecot. Oh, and the most awful thing has happened. Not a single match in the house and my lighter won't work.
So what could I do?
So what could I do? That was a strange mixture. In general, it was pretty good. You were dead on time, 39 minutes. It started off very well. And the beginning part of this is purely criticism of little tiny details. Midge, careful how you sit down in that skirt.
Which one?
Please, the blue one. Andy, Reg,
sorry.
If we are left with that settee, please, it seems to have Freudian tendencies or something. Everyone goes to grip it. Hang on to it all the time. Everyone who gets round the back there, they like this on it.
Terribly familiar.
Only the younger men, Dudley. I didn't touch it.
Yes, you
It's the dromedary.
Try to keep the rest of the time.
I purposely skipped over Veronica's entrance because obviously something happened, and I'm sure that won't happen again.
It's coming up to John Christo's death. I'm holding my breath to see how Reg manages it this time.
Put that thing down.
Oh, well done. One of the detectives who will investigate the foul deed is played by Tim Mergens, who works for the gas board. Tim told me he's played coppers so often that he's actually applied to become one.
They all know something, Penny, but they're not telling us.
Henrietta, I haven't said anything. I thought you'd rather I didn't. But you do know, don't you, how sorry I am?
Sorry that John Christo's dead.
I meant sorry for you. I know it's been a great shock.
Shock? Oh, but I'm tough, Edward. I can stand shocks. Was it a shock to you?
Susan George is a housewife and mother of 4 children.
Glad, I suppose. Were you glad?
It's about the only thing I do that's outside family, home, work, and all those dull, ordinary things of life, you know?
But you love it. Why do you get so dug into it?
Well, it takes you out of yourself, doesn't it? Makes you into a different person what you are in everyday life. Gives you a chance to, I don't know, produce some emotions that society tells us we mustn't show anymore.
One moment living, breathing, and the next dead. Gone. Emptiness. Oh, the emptiness.
I'd really like to play a part. It's the woman in love who doesn't get her man, the heartbroken type, the real tragedy. This is the part I would like to play absolutely straight.
You're a romantic, then, aren't you?
Yes, I suppose so.
And you love all those romantic things.
There's not much romance left in life, is there?
Oh, there is. Well, as long as you say that, of course there is. That's what it's all about.
You rang, sir?
Oh, yes, Gudgeon. Do you think you could tell me to whom this handbag belongs?
I'm afraid not, sir. I don't recollect ever having seen it before. I could ask her ladyship's own maid. She may be able to tell you, sir.
Thank you.
The butler is played by another gas man. Freddie Turner is a meter reader.
It just occurred to me, sir, if I may make a suggestion.
By all means.
It might possibly be the property of Miss Veronica Cray.
Veronica Cray? Well, the film star, is she in this part of the world?
Good morning, madam. Southeastern Gas Board. May I read the meter, please?
Yes, in the cupboard.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ah, little doggy barking. It is this cupboard, isn't it, madam?
That's it.
1, 4, 5, 8. 1, 4, 5, 8. Yes, we know.
She occupies the cottage 100 yards up the lane, sir. Dovecote, it's called.
So you know who I am?
I'm very fond of a good film.
How charming of you. I'm over in England to make a picture.
So, Dr. Christo and you were a friend of yours?
Yes, well, I haven't seen him for years. I came over last night to borrow some matches.
Of course, you have automatic lighting with the 4 burners. Got a couple of doors either side there, which the gas goes down from the burner and lights up this automatically. It's a safety...
That thoughtful gas board also supplied Inspector Cahoon in the shape of John Mergens, ex-pro actor.
I see. Do you do terms on these cookers?
Terms on cookers at the moment are you more or less write your own ticket.
That's all a pack of lies. Can I have my bag, please?
Certainly, Miss Gray. but I'm afraid I shall have to keep the gun.
Gun?
The inspector and the detective sergeant are in real life father and son.
Smith & Wesson, same caliber as killed John Christie.
Don't you think you can frame me? I'll phone my lawyer.
Send a copy of the report to the client and say that in these circumstances there doesn't seem to be anything very much further we can do.
Dick Perkins, the guild chairman, is a solicitor. His clerk, Sue Dengate, works the lighting board, and Dick plays Sir Henry.
Well, if the police are looking for them, I'm not going to compete. We'd like a little further information. According to her statement, she picked it up from the floor by her husband's body. But we only assumed, quite naturally, that that was the gun with which Dr. Christie had been shot. Do you mean to say that it wasn't? We've just had the report from our ballistics expert. The bullet that killed John Christie was not fired from that gun. You astound me.
One thing I really like to play is a very heavy, dramatic part, a vicious part, which really, you know, you've got to pour everything into it, and completely different from my usual nice self.
You're charming. And what I'd like to do is a chronic alcoholic, a real degenerate, the type of Ray Milland type of part.
I've always wanted to be the real villain. I don't mean the Long John Silver type, but the type who gets the girl tied to a chair and he wants to know where the plans are. He comes up with a cigarette and says, now, my dear, you're not going to hold out on me. Now, where are these plans? It's a beautiful eye. What a pity to put the cigarette in. Where are the plans? Where are the plans? That sort of thing. I'd love to do a part like that.
Butlers and dirty old men are what I
Particularly dirty old men.
The caretaker was, of course, dirty old
You
man.
did a beautiful
the old man in
performance in
Roots.
that, too. A lovely performance it was.
I thoroughly enjoyed it. I mean, it wasn't at all nervous on it. I'll never get another part like that, of course.
Did it take you out of yourself, did you?
Well, I can't say that I acted the part off stage, because if I did, I'd soon be run in.
All is set for the first night. The good luck telegrams are waiting, and everyone gets ready in their own private state of nerves.
You're going down in the dawn to the fishing fleet and buying some fish as the fleet came in. Yeah?
That's rather fun. Did you see it actually come in?
I've got some tickets for Roberts.
Roberts?
Yes.
Oh, thanks very much.
Would they agree without... Yeah,
5 minutes, please.
It's the first time with an audience, whose reactions are terribly important to the actor's confidence. Property department miraculously produced a rare lobster from somewhere.
Tradesmen are just like gardeners. They take advantage of one not knowing. Don't you agree, Edward?
Soon, however, Lady Angertel had to carry it at arm's length. It began to pong rather badly, and by the fourth performance, the audience were seen energetically fanning their faces with their programs.
I wondered if a cushion this colour would look rather nice. How do you feel about it?
The sound lady got all her noises in the right places.
Household, I see to it that everything is done to spare her ladyship trouble and annoyance. That will be Dr. and Mrs. Christie. Now go upstairs and be helped Simmons with the unpacking.
Yes, Mr. Gudgeon.
They're almost home and dry with the first act. No one's tripped over the carpet, the prompt lady has been little in evidence, and the audience is captivated. So let's keep our fingers crossed for what's to come.
Have you got a favourite actress in the cast already?
I think the young Snodgrass girl's very nice.
She's perhaps the most perceptive of the characters, but in Agatha Christie, you know, you always have one like that.
Why do you like him most?
Well, they talk a bit louder.
Oh, heavens, well, I know them all, so...
And why did you come to this one?
Somewhere to go. My mum and dad have gone out with her mum and dad tonight.
Have you any idea who's going to be the murderer?
I don't know who's going to be murdered yet.
Reg expires magnificently, but there's still a curse on this scene. Sir Henry, in a gust of enthusiasm, comes rushing through the French window too soon. He retreats in confusion. Luckily, only one member of the audience seemed aware of the mistake.
Dr. Christie, sir. What's happened?
He's been wounded.
Wounded? How did it
Bring for
happen?
a doctor, Gutton.
The Freudian sofa once again draws the actor's hands to its comforting protuberances.
Oh, yes, of course. I will do everything I can.
The nerves are over. They have the audience eating out of their hands.
Actually, this is my first murder.
Indeed. Now, the just and gratifying conclusion.
Well, get me the police station, please, will you?
One more.
Well done, Deirdre. How'd you enjoy your first part? Great fun, wasn't it? She did very well.
It's been gorgeous, yes, lovely.
Last night I called
Henrietta. Last night I called her Henrietta.
This is one cast you'll never have in a play again, I should be thinking.
One or twice.
Late, darling, yes.
Now?
Was I?
Dudley, please put your hand in the center. Because, on behalf of my house guests and myself and the corpses, who are now revived,
And the police.
this is with our love and appreciation for all your kindness. We hope we've done you credit. We've had such a happy week, and we hope it's been happy for you.
Thank you very, very much.
Yeah.
It really has.
Mr. Jolly good fellow,
Mr. Jolly good
fellow, and so say all of us, and so say all of us, and so say all of us, he's the jolly good fellow.
A terrible sense of loss after the last night, you know, you think, oh dear, it's the end of everything.